Hi everyone, so we're going to look at the Dip Amp East spawn today. So this is one of the spawns that everybody has, no matter where you've placed your empty. And I'm starting off on the amp itself, so I definitely overbuild on my amps. This is purely for the mini boss. And what I find is that if you do get a mini boss from the east, it comes this way, so it'll come around here and it'll start trying to destroy these tiles here. So hopefully they will get it before these traps will get it before it gets them. Probably I don't need this one here. Probably I don't need this one here. But you do need to build around your amps because otherwise the lobbers will throw at them as well. Yeah, I also do have inside my amps some gas traps as well in case the mini boss does break through, because then what it does once it breaks through is it starts to destroy all the other walls from the inside rather than going around the outside and doing it. So the gas traps again should hopefully get it, but yeah. I also have some anti-airs on top just in case of flingers, but I've actually never ever had an issue with flingers in Stonewood, so probably don't need them either. With that in mind, let's go and have a look at the spawns. So the majority of husks will spawn down here. And so that is why I have these drop traps, because essentially what they'll do is they'll hit the husks and they will actually push the husks back down this hill. You could, if you wanted, you could extend the drop traps further out. That might be even more effective. I don't need them. Like these ones alone are sufficient. But if you needed a few more traps, that's what you could do. You will sometimes get husks spawning here or here and trying to get through the side, and then similarly you'll sometimes get them spawning up there or down there, and so this is why this is the only or one of the only amps I have this kind of angular lobber shield on it. So essentially the ceilings go up to the drops and then they just continue beyond the drops, and that kind of counteracts the occasional spawn that you'll get up on the top there. I have tried to just build the lobber shield up, you know, like this, and continuing and putting a roof on it, but you use more tiles that way. It's less efficient, so may as well just do it this way. So let's first look at the traps on this side. So I have, this is a really annoying bit, by the way, behind here. Let me climb up and show you because it's hard to see from the front. But basically, it's it kind of goes down. It's like a downwards pathway. Here, yeah, you can see that the path is sort of going down below these block off. So I've blocked off the downwards pathway here, and then on the front of it I've put some wooden wall spikes, so that deters, well, that'll kill some husks. Yeah, so essentially the pathway would come out here if I let it. Yeah, here you go. So yeah, this essentially that's actually only only 4 tiles that are blocked there, basically, or 4 things that block, but it does seem to deter them. And then I've also blocked around here, and then there's kind of blocks behind that as well at the second level. I have in the past tried blocking this whole side, and the blasters just keep bursting through, and then the lobbers go through and throw at the amp. So I would advise just encouraging the husks up here, and that does seem to work. They don't seem to go for this, but these two wall darts, they are there in case husks do come and try and bash through the block-offs like flingers and so on. Because these type of traps aren't always sufficient to kill flingers. They'll kill like your little ones, no problem, but the bigger husks like blasters and flingers can do more damage than this can heal. So yeah, the darts are needed to kill them. But yeah, so they go over the floor spikes slow them down. They get hit by the sound walls, they drop their propanes, and then they get hit by the drop traps and they get pushed back. And if they're still alive, which very few are, then they'll probably get killed by this ceiling electric at the top. I have another floor spike here because you cannot place a tile on this. So this floor spike will slow them down. They'll continue to be slow here, but they would speed up again here, so that's why they have a second floor spike. And then if they get through that, then they should be stuck by the tower and so on. Really only smashers would get through to this point, but I find smashers don't tend to come up this pathway. They tend to go the other way. So and yeah, that's it. As you can see, I have a dart here. You probably don't even need that. The way that darts work is they're triggered within 3 tiles, but they hit within 6. So if you have a husk here, it'll trigger that dart, and that dart will hit all the husks that are standing from here to here. Then we just have some darts here. Again, those are kind of, I would say, I don't think they're super necessary. But they'll just hit husks as they're spawning and coming up. We've also got drops to hit husks and push them backwards. And then I've got 2 wooden floor spikes. So most husks will walk up this pathway. Some of them will kind of walk through and this way. By doing that, they do avoid the dance trap, which is annoying, but they also will get extra damage from the dart and extra damage from these drop traps, so they'll probably be dead anyway. Then they walk this way, they get pushed back by the launcher. If they get through, and again it's really only smashers that get through, then they all get gassed here, and that is all the traps that are needed. I do have an extra one there, again just for smashers. But I've got an extra wall launcher, an extra dance trap here, just in case a husk has come through here, managed to get through, or if this approach gets hit a lot, and that it can be random whether it's hit or not, then you might find this one runs out by the by the end, and therefore this one means that the whole tunnel doesn't get blown up by propanes. So then the final approach, and I'll just walk around here, is that sometimes you get husks spawning here, and oftentimes if there's lobbers that are spawning, they're just looking for a place to throw, so they're kind of walking around this way. So that's partly what the wall darts are for. The wall darts also have another function relating to Amp D and relating to the other spawn of Amp A as well. But what I found was I was putting a wall dart on 1 or 2 places, and then the lobbers were just going to the next tile and bashing it. So I just decided to put a wall dart all the way along. And these wall darts have 6th perk heals on them. So if the lobbers do start bashing, then the wall will then heal itself from that. But most husks will just walk through here. They'll get hit by the 2 floor spikes. There's a dart. They should have dropped their propanes here. They'll get hit by the ceiling electrics and so on. If they make it through, which very few do, then I find they can't. See, I can, but they can't manage to walk across here because of this edited wall here. If you don't put a wall here, if you got rid of that one, then the husk would just be able to walk across this way. But as it is, they go around here and then join into the main tunnel, basically. But as I said, most of them don't get through. There's also a dart that could hit them from here. This drop trap shouldn't be there. It should be a ceiling electric. I don't know why it is there. But as as with my other approaches, this is slightly over-trapped, I think. And if I could bother it, I'd probably take some traps out. But if you don't have great trap durability, then you may find you need more traps. So you could, I don't think you could do tiles here. I think those would get blown up by the spawns. But you could have more of a complicated entrance. Certainly I used to. And husks, they're not going to want to walk this way because there is a natural incline. But you could block off this way, force them in this way, like this, and then they kind of go this way and so on. So you could definitely do more with the entrance. I have also, with moderate success, got husks to walk up this middle part before. Not many of them seem to want to, but some of them will. So it's sort of, if you can, but by spreading husks out across different approaches, again, you improve your trap durability situation. Then what you can also do is you can add some extra traps here. Now, this is going downhill, which is annoying, so I would just put down a floor like this and have some extra traps here, and then have them just drop down fully with traps as well. I think as long as you manage the propane situation, they shouldn't blow up or anything. It should be okay. So yeah, that's what I would be doing if I had to add more traps and didn't have much durability. One final thing is I forgot to show how many block offs are on this side. Okay, so this isn't a block off. This is this is a block off here. So you can see I basically got one row, one tile's worth of block offs. This is a block off. This one is. 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 So I'm kind of going into the approaches for A South by now, but what you'll find is if you don't have these block offs here, then the lobbers will simply just walk around the side until they find a place they can throw. So you do need some kind of block offs basically that go the whole way around. And exactly how those might look is slightly down to where you have your amp D placed, and therefore where your defences for D are, and whether you do have tunnels down on this south side as well. But yeah, you will need to stop the lobbers from walking around. So that's how I do it, with one tile's worth of block offs and with those wall darts. So that is the defences for the dip amp and east side. The lobber shield, as always, goes 9 tiles up. So this is the 9 tile point, but just as a kind of a benchmark, this is 1 tile out of here. So your lobber shield needs to come up to here, basically. Yeah.